First of all, I'll open by saying I hope everybody's well and everybody's getting along with their families in isolation, and that's all gone particularly well. I know my children are sick of watching Arsenal football videos and DVDs. Um, so some distraction with the upcoming remote learning uh, will be enjoyed by all. So this video is just to try and give everyone an overview of exactly what I've got planned and how next Wednesday will look to start with. There's invariably going to be problems with it, and please feel free to contact me about any of the issues. Our main objective is to try and move every student's learning along without too much disruption. And we're going to try and avoid doing any internals while we're in the remote learning phase. But there may come to a point where we have to start doing some internals. So this video is for all my classes from year 9 through to year 13. So there'll be slight variations with each class, but I'm hoping to try and get the same sort of system. So I've created a generic OneNote to show the structure of how the lessons should be given to you. So to start off with, the first thing is all students should be able to access their emails and their OneNote. If they're unable to do this, I do need I can possibly help with getting that set up, but it's something that all the students were taken through before the school closed. So for each class that they have a OneNote, there will be one with their class, specifically maths class on it, and with my initials. And how it's structured is that there is a first section where there is a content library. I will move all the topics so that the one we are currently working on is at the top. So you can see for year 11, that'll be chance and data. For year 12 applied, that'll be number. For 12 stats, that's we're going to be looking at probability as well. And then for year 13, that's going to be probability concepts. So it should be the one that they use at the top. And then what you'll be able to see there is that they'll have access to all the PowerPoints, notes, and everything from that content library. So you can always go back to it if you miss something, and certainly when it comes to the end of the year where we have to review this work again, you can look at that as well. So the next thing is that you'll see the other topics there, which could be anything, but it's the one that they've been told to start should be at the top. As far as their lessons are concerned, there should be another tab where it's got their name. You can open that and there should be a matching section there. What should be in there should be a numbered lesson going through each one in order. My idea is to produce 4 lessons a week that would match the 4 classes that we would have if we were on site. And that each of those is broken down with some sort of teaching and work that needs to be completed. They can be done in any order, but not any order, but they could be done at any time. You could group 2 together, you could do all 4 in one go. The aim would be to try and get each of the 4 for that week done in the time, because there will be some sort of not assessment, but sort of quiz at the end that they may need to complete in the 4th lesson. That's likely to be using Education Perfect. So the boys will need to be able to use that. For most of them, they would have used it before, and maybe in other subjects were in maths. It's a relatively simple process. I will either put out a video explaining or get some detailed instructions how to sign up on that and use it. Basically, each lesson should look roughly the same. There'll be a table. I'll put some instructions on the left-hand side. On the right-hand side, there will be some resources that they can use. So this is a relatively straightforward lesson. There is a workbook that the students currently have. There's a PDF copy if they don't have that physical book with them. So they'll need their exercise books to fill in their answers in or something like that. And the other thing is then there may be a video similar to this explaining the teaching or the content. The PowerPoint for that will be available in the content library, but the video can be opened, watched a number of times, rewind, and some points gone back and over. That video should be directly related to the next thing, which may be a task, and then there's the possibility here of answering, checking your answers once they've been done. There may be another thing where there's an online form that needs to be filled in, or some Education Perfect work that needs to be done, or other videos or anything like that. But basically, every lesson would be structured similar to that, where there were instructions and then the resources that follow. So the only other point then is if something wasn't to work, or boys were confused about a task that they needed to do, they need to be in contact with me via email. So it's only really the OneNote and the email we'll be using. Depending on how long the remote learning goes for, we may look at introducing other bits of software, but I really just want to keep it as simple as possible. If parents have any questions, please email me as well, but it may be a good idea to have a look and get this set up prior to Wednesday. I won't load the information until later on a Tuesday afternoon, so it may not appear until the Wednesday anyway. As I said before, it's not going to be perfect, and there may be mistakes. The production level of my videos aren't particularly high. There may be the odd little 5-year-old or 3-year-old that pop their head up every so often, but so we'll make the best that we can, and I think the key thing is to make sure that there's progress being made at all times. So thank you, and please take care of each other. And again, if there's any questions over the weekend, please feel free to email them, and I will get back to you as much as I can.